Okay, so I'm going to put this first and then whatever else I recorded over the last 2 days in regards to the books. And, oh, I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, I found the flaker. And a steamer. For, yeah. Okay, so what? June 26th of 2025. Now, I was watching this video. Okay, we're going to put this first. And we're going to put this in as well as other playlists. But we're going to put it under YouTube Antics. Okay? Now, I've been on YouTube's... Well, my son started the channel in 2009. And I really didn't start doing anything with it until I moved into... I mean, yeah, I did the park event and that kind of little bit of that, right? But when I moved in this house... Oh, yes, and I did the playground restoration in 2009. Anyway, I started doing more videos, I guess you could say, in 2011, 2010. Well, yeah, 2009, 10, and 11. Okay, and then we are where we are now with it, right? Which is just a bunch of YouTube antics in terms of shadow banning through various techniques, psychological warfare, so they can collect their data to see how people react to things. And anyway, YouTube is not what you think it is, people. And if you know what it is, then you know. Outside of that, people are starting to talk about the AI influencers are taking over, and there's nothing we can do about it. In other words, I guess there's YouTube channels now that have AI videos, AI generated videos, where these individuals are posing as humans. Not this one. Not this one. But this one. In this situation, black commentators, okay, are pointing out that somebody is generating AI videos where these entities are made to look like they're human, but they're not. They're generated by a computer. And for anyone that would know about source code, HTML, and how web pages are made, and how traffic can be controlled through source code, through tags, through JavaScript, cascading style sheets, and whatever, and whatever, and whatever. The first thing I gotta say is, YouTube as a corporation looking to make money through a back door. And it was like this back in the day when YouTube first started out. When they're sitting at the server and they're running the website. The people who are running the website, writing the source code, can redirect the traffic wherever they want, and they can shadow ban and ostracize and do whatever they want to whoever they want, when they want, through that source code. If they want you to be successful, they'll redirect the traffic to you. If they don't want you to be successful, they will shadow ban you and gang stalk you and just whatever. That's what my channel shows. Okay? For what it's worth, they prop up documentaries quote unquote, that feed the government narrative in terms of they did it to themselves when they OD'd off of fentanyl. It was either a suicide or an accident, never murder. When anyone with half a brain knows that people are being murdered with fentanyl, while our politicians, policing agencies, hospital agency, like hospital staff and whatever, those types of people are all covering it up because in the back room, Andre, please, in the back room is illegal organ harvesting happening. And they're not just harvesting organs, they're harvesting teeth for their robotoids, not for the AI generated YouTube channel, but for the robotoid that poses as a coroner, right? With the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, as its handlers in terms of writing off whoever it is that they're tending to who died as an accident or as a suicide. And then in comes the laundering of money, the black web, or whatever they call it, dark web, the underground economy, just that old seedy shit that's been going on for years, and then the body snatchers. All right, but we're not allowed to talk about those things too much, because if we talk too much about those things, it makes people think outside of the box, and God forbid YouTube staff, their CEOs, and the AI that run this particular website, they don't want you to know. Okay. So, but people are catching a clue. They're talking about it where they can. You know, they only know so much. They can only say so much. Unless, of course, they stumble upon something by accident, like I did, when it came to what I had to say in regards to this. Because based on my experience since 2009, and we're now in 2025, and my channel hasn't gone anywhere, but yet I'm a hardcore truther that hasn't done anything wrong, even though I've been smacked around by YouTube on several of occasions in terms of being YouTube's bitch, where they think that they can do whatever they want, when they want, how they want, and it is what it is, right? Okay? I know I'm blaming somebody else, quote unquote, YouTube, for my failures. No, people, it's more like there's an agenda, all right? Clearly, somebody's making money off of these channels. And if YouTube is redirecting traffic to AI influencers, well, normal human beings are being thrown to the curb and making a pittance compared to what this thing is making, as it's being stated by the commentators that are featuring these types of videos, and he's not the only one, that whatever is coming out of this thing's mouth is derogatory to black people in general. Overall, in a subliminal sense, if not straight out. Same thing with this thing. This is not a so-called human being. This is a generated AI video that's being perpetrated as an influencer of some kind, where people want to watch it and then be subliminally manipulated to either do as this thing says, let's go rob so-and-so and so, and walk you through the process of robbing, acting all hip and cool, while YouTube is pushing the video out into the algorithm, right? So that some maybe vulnerable youth or whoever would be prone to that type of behavior, because is being glorified, or is feeding into racism where other ethnic groups are being programmed to be racist towards blacks. And these individuals that are bringing this stuff to the attention are pointing it out. Okay. It's going to get to, and whatever it is that however these things are being generated, they have a few glitches, and they can still kind of see where there might be a problem in terms of, got to work on that glitch, right? Where you can't tell if it's generated through an operating system or whatever, to the point where the technology is going to get so good that you won't be able to distinguish between what is real and what is not real. All right. And that's just through videos. Well, I take it one step further. And guess what YouTube did? They removed my comment. They've been removing comments. They've been removing comments from my comment section. Look, do you see my comment? I don't see my comment. Because they don't want you to know.
Hitting your goals has nothing to do with discipline. The real culprit is friction, and it slowly erodes your progress. Unlike what most people believe, it isn't.
They don't want you to know. Do you see what's going on here? This is not the first time I've brought this to attention. Like, YouTube is so fake. So fake, it's disgusting. And it's getting faker and faker and faker. Yeah. Yeah. YouTube staff will redirect traffic to these AI channels for profit, because they've been doing that since the beginning of time, redirecting traffic to where they wanted whoever they favored, whether it was somebody working within the corporation making stupid videos, or maybe it was some political website, or who knows. But they do it through the source code, people. Okay? Via who they choose, who will be successful on YouTube or not. Robots that look human and sound human are already being employed by governments in positions like coroners, public union sector workers. Now, I'm surprised they let that stay up. So far, I've got 2 thumbs up. But it doesn't really explain much, though, does it? No, not really. You know, that's why I posted another post, to give people something to really think about, but they don't want people to think. They just want people to be influenced with the stupid videos that they promote. Right. And then call that YouTube safe. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to read my comment that YouTube deleted, because I'm pretty sure it was YouTube that did that. Because they've been deleting comments or hiding them on my channel as people are commenting on my videos. I approve them. Some of them go through and some of them don't. Same old YouTube antics. Yeah. So, in response to what I wrote, YouTube staff will redirect traffic to these AI channels, right, for profit via who they choose, who will be successful on YouTube or not. Robots that look human or sound human are already being employed by governments in positions like coroners, public union sector workers. And then, this is the comment that has been either hidden or removed. The only reason we can see it is because I haven't exited from the page yet. But as soon as I exit from the page, it will be gone. Robotoids have handlers. RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And what does the Royal Canadian Mounted Police do? They protect property. Isn't that what a robotoid would be? The property of something or somebody. Well, I would think if it's employed as a coroner, the government owns it. So the RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, are protecting the robotoids that are employed by the government. So therefore they become the handlers to those robotoids. Okay? That is not false information. Quiet! Whether human or maybe shapeshifters. Because it's up for debate, in my opinion, as to whether each and every police officer, whether they are the Royal Canadian Mounted Police or your local police department from district, whether they're human or shapeshifters. Yeah, because there's just too many strange things going on in the world these days. And you gotta be a pretty strange kind of human to be wanna be a handler to a robotoid as you commit fraud in terms of covering up murder for profit. And we're talking about what happened to Sierra here. Okay. My oldest daughter was lured to her death, murdered, and through a editing program on a picture of a corner at the property where my supposed dead daughter was, because we'll never know whether she was alive or not, because the Royal Canadian Mounted Police were playing games with my family. They were playing games with my 2 adult children that were with me, and they were playing games with me. And they refused to let us to identify Sierra, not even for 10 seconds. Why? Underexposure in that editing program, I discovered, I took that picture of that corner because I was recording, and by the grace of God, it was a God moment, I managed to capture that thing's face as that thing with its handlers were standing in the door frame after they threw out my son and my daughter and myself onto the freaking porch in the rain so that they could conspire behind closed doors how to get rid of us, because they were on a mission to do something else with my daughter's body, and that's just a freaking fact. Anyway, I took that picture after I discovered that the camcorder caught that thing on camera, and I took a frame of its face, a picture, and I took it to my editing program, and I brought it to exposure. I did a video on it, and what did we find? It had a gaping hole in its cheek, had no color in its face, it was completely freaking white for the most part. It had funky eyes, and a motherboard in its hair. Alright. Got that on video, and I still need to do it again just to reinforce that I'm not lying, even though YouTube has no problem with their staff promoting AI videos with young black men running around robbing rich people and acting like a gangster as if it's the cool thing to do. As you got AI black women acting the way they act so that people are programmed to dislike them, unless of course you just watch them for entertainment and think it's cool and want to be like them. You're going to get one or the other, and that's all AI generated, no prob. Send all the traffic there, but shut it down here. Okay, and that's the point. Shut it down here. Why? Because what you see with the videos is mild compared to what is going on in our society right now without people even realizing what's standing in front of them. Through an editing program on a picture of a corner at the property where my supposed dead daughter was, under exposure in that editing program, I discovered that so-called corner robotoid. It walked and it talked, but it had so-called handlers right beside it. Now, they could be shapeshifters posing as RCMP police officers because they were like 6'5", extremely tall, which makes me wonder. But besides that point, so that so-called corner robotoid who walked and talked with handlers on each side of it had a motherboard in its hair. Not to mention a big black hole in its cheek with messed up eyes. Remember that video? It's in the playlist under Sierra. Who, how, and why Sierra died. Somewhere in there. People have no idea what our governments are doing. But look at how so many are struggling with no hope for a prosperous future. Every day, more and more people are falling through the cracks. Old people, young people, all kinds of people. Robotoids are aggressive. That thing that kicked my son and my daughter and myself out of that house because we were saying that it was a joke that they were there for Sierra, and why didn't they weren't there for like we brought up Shimei. Like, okay, so you're here for Sierra, but you never came for Shimei, right? And she, and somebody, next thing you know, get out, get out, get out. She made it so that those handlers threw us out. But before they slammed the door in our face, they made sure that thing was looking at me directly at the camera. Okay? With them all standing around at the door. Because I got it on film, people. Okay? And it was being aggressive. It followed my family. The Robotoid, with its handlers, followed my family to that door and looked at us collecting data. Because it's a Robotoid, remember that. Collecting data. It's studying your emotions or whatever, which makes it aggressive. Okay? It's an aggressive, I don't know, operating system for it to follow you to the door with the fucking cops with it. Everybody's standing there looking, and I'm recording as they slamming the door in our face. That's why I say aggressive. Okay? Robotoids are aggressive. It was one thing that it got us kicked out of there by saying, get out, get out, get out. Because it didn't want to discuss anything. It had to pick a fight. It had to pick a fight. And when it picked a fight, it ran to the door to look at the response of myself and my kids, with the cops standing there guarding it like the property that it was, right? So it could collect its data and self-teach itself as it was being aggressive. That is not a lie. And collect data on how a person reacts while the handlers, the RCMP to that Robotoid, played games for over an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it was, as they kept us outside in the rain trying to figure out how to freaking get rid of us so they could run off with my daughter's body. Dead or alive, I will never know. And illegally harvest her organs, because you know it happened, okay? With my other 2 adult children and myself. Yeah, they kept us out on the porch in the rain. What a great freaking... That bullshit, people. Total fucking bullshit. Alright. My camcorder, this, maybe not this one, but one like this one that doesn't have no filters, okay? My camcorder recorded what went down, and a editing program with the feature of exposure. That's where you change the colors to match the density of how thick something is, right? It can take you down deep through the exposure of what's deep. It will come out through the colors as they change, okay? Showed what was real and what was not real. The coroner was not real, but yet signed my daughter's death certificate. So there you go. YouTube's safe. They have their little AI redirecting traffic to teach people how to go off and rob people or act like a bimbo for views. Okay, so now what we're going to do, you see I got no thumbs, right? Because I posted that at that time 4 minutes ago, but it's been more than 4 minutes. Now we're going to refresh the page, and that post that I just read to you is going to disappear because YouTube is too busy promoting robbery, I guess you could say, and bimbos talking trash as people are lapping it up because the traffic is being redirected to that nonsense as YouTube hides facts. Because anything and everything that I said in here, I've already documented it on videos. Yeah. Oh, wait. Here. We don't need to move that. We just need to refresh. So we're going to refresh. And you're going to watch that post disappear.
What up, YouTube? It's your brother YT. If y'all seen, I did my first video on
of
this.
course, the mouse runs away. There's the comment with the 2 thumbs up, but they're only going to give you just enough for nothing as they take away the substance to explain why I even wrote that. And that's why I don't like to post on YouTube on other people's channels very much. Because YouTube is just one shady site. So people can't be surprised that AI is taking over and becoming mainstream influencers. No surprises here. And then we get the new craze of TikTok rants, where all these YouTubers go on TikTok or wherever and copy and paste other people's little clips, put them all together, whether they make commentary or not, doesn't matter, because these things are pretty popular in terms of views, right? As it feeds into, I guess you could say, fear porn, and slowly but surely desensitizes people to what's going on in the world when it comes to people going homeless more and more, people buying things, paying X amount of dollars for less product, with product that is inferior or whatever. I mean, housing is an issue in terms of the cost of rent, or people buying houses, and people complaining about a lot of things on TikTok, right? But these TikTok channel things come up like clockwork, right? And they're pretty popular.
How in the hell is that 200% more?
Midnight's putting way more space in between their chocolates. Girl Scout cookies gradually getting smaller over the years. Cadbury chocolate putting now bigger on their packaging, but
Just a lot of fear porn. But when you think about it, does a robotoid need food? Unless, of course, it's a hybrid slash robotoid slash human that maybe has a little chimera in it with some kind of foreign DNA when it comes to an animal species or a sea creature. I mean, who knows, right? Who knows what you're going to get, right? But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, why do we have all these problems?
it's actually the same exact size.
Are you?
When it's already predicted that you will own nothing and you will be happy as you have the gatekeepers to hell perpetrating that prediction. Get rid of your stuff. You will own nothing. You will never have another house like the one that you have, because it's already been predicted in a crystal ball. Only I can have, and you have nothing. Make it easy on me. Get rid of your stuff so I can put one notch on my belt so that my master will protect me, so I can live a long and prosperous life while you suffer. Oh my God.
Kidding me? Let's look at the bun to meat ratio. But I got this pack from Target for almost $13. Each packet has 2 or 3 cookies in it.
Chick-fil-A, what am I supposed to do with this? This, I'm gonna drink in 2 sips. And this was $7.
What in the actual fuck?
But AI doesn't need to eat or drink anything, so it would be expected that humans would be deprived of the basic needs, right, in order to keep up with the leaders of the pack, being that YouTube likes to redirect their traffic to either fear porn or to freaking fake YouTubers, basically for profit, as they continue to shadow ban channels like mine, because that's what they do. They've been doing it since 2009, because I didn't fit the criteria of being, I don't know, outside of YouTube's bitch. Never wanted to be YouTube's bitch. And there's a price to pay for that, people. They delete your comments. They shadow ban your videos. They hide the truth. Right? They scandalize. They demoralize. Nothing's changed about YouTube. Nothing.
Are these my strips?
Has anyone noticed how many things in the supermarket are actually getting smaller, but the price is either going up or staying the same?
We went from a 2.6 ounce of deodorant to a travel size. This is a travel size. What?
Listen.
Exactly. Okay. In my dinky little haul. It's a dinky little haul. Anyway. We're going to go through these books briefly before I try and put some of them away. Temporarily, until I decide what to do with them. So I'm kind of trying to keep school stuff with school stuff. Not so much trying to put them all in categories because, you know, people have been so displaced that it's not even funny. But besides that point, school stuff with school stuff, take out a few books to try and get Andre to do something. And then cookbooks with cookbooks. Okay, that's basically what it boils down to. So we're just going to go through these titles quickly as best as I can. Let's see if we can put on some light. If that helps. I don't know if that helps, makes it worse. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to start with these ones here first. There's a lot of them. I'm just temporarily moving some of them over there. Okay, let's stay positive. I think I'm going to tallow. I think I'm going to water bath some tallow. So I got some tallow upstairs here in this freezer in my kitchen. I'm going to clear off the top shelf of the fridge and let them unthaw inside the fridge. Depending on how many jars are there, you can do, 8 pint-sized jars in the size pressure canner that I have. I'm pretty sure it's 8. And these are wide-mouthed, so I'm just going to water bath them. And then I'd like to take them downstairs. Clearly, it's the coldest of the cold, right? And I can't forget about Bailey because, okay, Bailey, there's my room. I'll make an effort to grab a bucket of that coconut butter. Flip it over and we'll read the calorie count, just basic nutrition. Obviously, you can Google it, right? And you buy it on Amazon. You'll see it. I'll hold the bucket. You'll see. And that's the only place I know where you can buy coconut butter. It is organic. It's delicious. You could eat it with a spoon right out of the bucket. Or you can rejar it like I did back in the day, right? And then just use your jars as you need them. And when I get the bucket, I'll explain how you would do that. But in the meantime, let's get on with this first. Animals by design. Yeah. And these books are in mint condition, I'm telling you. But we don't have time to sort them out. We just... What is this? Paragraphs. Good luck trying to get Andre to write paragraphs, never mind a sentence. So we don't need this one just yet. Travel games. Maybe I'll print out something and let him try and do 1 or 2. Oh, what is this? Horse book. I have other horse books around. English. It's so hard for me to see. Okay. He wants the computer back. I want to give it back to him, but, you know, I don't want to, I mean, I'm already kind of back where I was with him with just being a sloth when it comes to keeping his environment clean, right? Or just cleaning up, or he's not as cheeky, but he can get cheeky real quick if he wants to. And then Marcane calls up because we're up here arguing. Like, you know, he raises his voice, I raise my voice. He says something, I tell him to shut up. He says something again, I say shut up. I'm laying on the couch, I want to go to sleep, forget it, you know, don't ask me for the computer. Shut up. Next thing you know, Marcane's ringing upstairs, ring, 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 to chew me out. Not so much him, but me out, right? Because, you know, Andre seems to think he has a friend in Marcane, right? Because I'm the one with the excuses. Yeah, okay. So, but I need him to, you know, we need to, I don't know what that is, Canada. We need to you know, think about selling a few things here, making an effort. Maybe I'll keep this one out. I have them all over, but you know, with my life being mixed up here, there, and everywhere, every couple of years or whatever. This I did to myself because, you know, as I put more food in my room, I have to take other things out. So that's okay. At least it's getting things moving. Here's another Canada's native long ago. You kind of want to keep things in categories, right? I don't know what this is. Anyway, just put that there. What is this? I can't see. Castles. Yeah, another book that's in really good condition. I could start a homeschool center. I really could. And then we've got, I don't know, Colors of Nature. I don't know what it is. Improve your English. Okay, I don't need too many of these because I've got some over there anyway. What is this? Do you have the sixth sense power? I don't know. Sometimes I do. Yeah. Cursive. Oh, I told him I have other ones, but cursive writing. I want him to practice cursive writing. So, Africa. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's a coloring book. I just have to photocopy it. Look at that. I'll keep that out and photocopy that and get May and Kyrie to work with that, maybe. Alright, I'm just making a pile to take that way temporarily until we decide. Keep some out. Oh, it just keeps on going and going. Alright, what is this? Literature based on learning. Okay. I don't know. It's so hard for me to see. Anyway, it's something. Girl who loves wild horses. Okay. So when I come and start sorting out, I'll have my horses with my horses where I have horses somewhere else. Anyway, we gotta work that. Illustrated thesaurus. Trying to get Andre to build on his word power, so I'm going to introduce him to, you know, I say, oh, you know, you think this, that, you're so smart, right? Like, go get a dictionary, right? Why don't you find me a dictionary? I'll give him a big fucking stack of thesauruses and a big stack of dictionaries. I'll say, no more excuses. Yeah, plenty to choose from. English smarts. Okay, we don't have to worry about that right now. See, these are expensive. Like, you know, like, they really, really are. Well, this one was $4. Depending on where they come from. Yeah. And what's in them. Anyway, brand new. Perfect condition. Yep. Okay. The universe. Bugs Bunny. That's a collector's item. That would be there's Tweety the Bird. Or Porky the Pig. Remember Porky the Pig? With this generation, would my grandson even know who Bugs Bunny was? Or Porky the Pig? Serious. This is vintage. I'd like to know what year this was. As if I could see it fast. You know how this camera kicks out, right? Oh my god. That's what I mean. And they're just gonna fucking check it out. Put it outside in the rain, people. That's what they'll do. They won't give a shit. 1979. This is vintage. My God. Okay, I just put it there with the other books. Oh my Lord. Oh, it just breaks my heart. This is where I just miss Shimei, because she would be here helping me going through this, and just, don't worry, Mom, I'll keep them, you know, blah. Or, I don't know. Look, this is to build something. What is this? Blockade. Look. It builds something with this. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. Beach. These were in my room for years. I don't know what that is. Oh my God. It just makes, I just want to cry. Like, you don't even know. So what? You own property. It's a fucking house of death, for crying out loud. I mean, how could you possibly be proud to own property that ends up just putting people in the grave at the end of the day through, you know. What the hell does homelessness lead to en masse? More death. They just cover it up. Like Shmei's death. Murder. Okay, don't get mad. I have to get rid of the books because I have to prepare to be homeless or living in a basement suite of something in a garage with mice and paying $2,000 a month for that. Yeah, okay. I don't know what this is. Don't get discouraged. Like, I want to cry because this is not fair, because I just see my son and that girl downstairs, Marina, just fucking boxing this shit up, putting them outside and letting them get completely fucking rained on, ruined, as they sit there and accuse me of being the problem as they're loading up Marina's mother's fucking van with my shit, talking bad about me. When her sisters aren't rolling up grabbing my shit that they want to keep as they're throwing the shit that they don't want to keep out in the freaking rain. Well, my landlady is saying, hurry up, get rid of it, get rid of it. Get rid of everything. With Rhea in the bushes, you could write a story about this. Better than Mr. and Mrs. Black Walnut, right? But really, seriously, with Rhea in the freaking Medusa blackberry bush, yeah. Myrtle. No, that's what we called the blackberry bush. That's myrtle. That we dubbed the blackberry bush up by the fence there in the alley. Her name is Myrtle. That's Rhea. She's hiding out in the bushes there with Myrtle, the blackberry bush, just waiting so that she can snag something on her smash and grab when nobody's looking. Yeah. And then, right, story time, people. And then, as everybody's conniving and scheming and plotting and just whatever, you know, every now and then they cross paths and they high-five each other, right? Boom, you know. And then they just keep on going with their freaking independent missions. As they pillage my shit, drive me nuts, put me in an early grave, for crying out loud, one way or another. Here's your story time. Okay, we don't need that. We're just enemies of English. Well, we'll leave that one out because it sounds something that you can talk about with Andre. I have to do everything with Andre, I think, on the fly here. Make a new attempt. This is spaceships or something. I don't know what it is. Can't see. Lucky 13. Don't know what it is. It's okay. Adding and subtracting puzzles. It's enough to try and get Andre just to do math. Never mind puzzles. This is a dictionary, my sticker dictionary. I don't know. Something grammar. I don't know. I don't know. The Canadian spelling program. Anyway, don't need that. I don't know what this is. Employee guide. Okay. Anyway. And then we've got something else. Enforced. Anyway, okay. So, that's some. Alright. Now we're going to go through this little pile here. Well, it's not a little pile. It's actually quite big. Yeah, it just breaks my heart knowing that. Or maybe they'll be kind enough and drop it off at a freaking thrift store. Right. Children's dictionary. I have them all over. 2,500 facts. This is the kind of stuff my son used to read, Marcane, when he was 5 years old. 101,000 facts, 1,000 facts, 2,500,000 facts, or 2,500 facts. Yeah, grammar, on the go, pirates. Oh, let's see what that looks like, a coloring book. Yeah, I can't really see it. Do they give you a published date on it? I don't know. Do they give you published dates on coloring books? It was published in the USA. Paradise Press Inc. Printed in the USA. And then what happens is my eyes goon. Yeah, I focus them, and then all of a sudden they just, I don't know, it's like they're being, the lens is being controlled by something else, and it suddenly changes. Yeah, it changes right in front of, just as I'm looking at it, the vision, things will get real small, or it'll just blur up real fast. Oh yeah. It's maddening. I don't see a publishing date on it. It's a copyright, though. Yeah. Anyway. So I guess they don't put publishing dates on comic books. Anyway, we'll leave it out. Okay, let's just work fast, because I gotta go. I got a long day. I'm picking through all kinds of things. So anything cookbook, which actually I have a fair amount here, I'm leaving out. Now, these are old school cookbooks. Marina would call these redundant. Why do you need so many? I don't know. I had a large family. I was thinking of my children. And there's things in here that you'd never find in a newer cookbook or ever on the internet, so. And I think these are in series. These are series. There's like series of these. I don't know, like, what's the year of these ones? Oh my god. This is casseroles. I have beautiful Corningware. I need to empty them out from where they are. I have no place to put them. I wouldn't mind. Oh, 1969. Vintage. Right? And this is for, oh my god, casseroles. So why don't we leave that out? Okay, so we're leaving the cookbooks out. I'm putting the school stuff over there. What is this? Oh my god. It's a craft book. How to make things or something. What is this? The Pastry Chef. Do you want to make a castle? I'm telling you, I'm going to be grinding my own wheat and making my own bread and maybe my own pastry. I'll leave that one handy. Okay? Okay, so these are all like cookbooks. Meats. Okay, so let's just... Here, let's see. Okay, these ones we don't want. These ones are going over there. I'm working a little over here, a little over there. Oh, and I found that steamer. Rhea didn't take it. Unless, wait a minute. Hold on. No, I think that's the new one I just bought. If the new one that I just bought isn't over there, then that's the new one that I just bought, because I moved it in there temporarily to get it out of the way. So, no, no, that steamer was in the bedroom. That's still gone, right along with that flaker. I haven't found it. Okay, so meats. Favorite recipes. California. Something. Winemakers. California winemakers. Right? Pie. And pastry. There we go. Leave that out. Yeah. Hostess cookbook. Do ahead. That might give me some ideas. Right. Maybe, eh? It looks like a lot of these ones are cookbooks. Cookbook. Walt Disney. There's another vintage. Isn't that interesting? Oh, here's more. I got more than one in here. Hold on. Wait till I show you. I got 2 of these, actually. There we go. Come on. It's stuck. Oh. Hey. Hey. I got 2 of these. Do you think either one of my kids would appreciate it? Hell no. Look. What's the year on this one? Geez, the print is very small. Come on. 1975. 85, 95. Okay, let's see how old this book is. It was 1975, so 85, 10 years. 85, 95, 2005, 2025. Wait, no, 2015, 2025. This book is 50 years old, people. Yeah. Let me double check that. And it's like in mint condition. It makes me cry. It so makes me cry. Copyrighted 1975 by Walt Disney Production. All rights reserved. What is it? It's a cookbook. And I got 2 of them. I think they're the same. Yeah. Combine them together, that's 100 years. 50 years, 50 years. I'm an ancient old woman here. Yeah. Okay. Don't cry. Modern cake decorating. I have cake stuff up there, but I don't have time for that, so we'll just put that there. It's enough to be able to make the cake, never mind have to decorate. Although, we'll leave it out just in case we have time to look. All-time favorites, again, antiques. Here's another one, Walt Disney Storyland. Still in pretty good shape, slightly used. What's the year? Looks older than the one that I just showed you. Let's see if I can find it. Come on. Western Publishing Company, Wisconsin. Table of contents. What's this down here? It would be down here. Copyright 1960, 62 or 82? I'm pretty sure it says 62. 1962. This is 63 years old. It is as old as me. It is as old as me. And my kids, if you want to call them that, adult children, who just as they cut me up. I can't stand it, people. Okay, so there's a couple of these that are like the same or something. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, there's more cookbooks. Okay, so let's just work fast. Yeah, this is a series. We're coming into a series, Betty Crocker. Now we're coming into the old Betty Crockers. Okay. What year? I'm curious just to know what the year is. And of course the print is getting smaller and smaller, like real small. 1967. Yeah. 1967. So we've got 1, 2, 3. 3 of those anyway. Pie and pastry cookbook, we'll leave that out, it's handy. These were in my room, haven't been touched in years. Here's frosting mix, okay, I need that, right? Just to, you know, look, pies, look at this. Pie and pastries, so I've got a few of them here. Okay, we've got a beautiful grain, 2 grain mills to choose from. I might use the Wonder Mill just for, they recommend that if you're going to start grinding grains and beans and all that, you have one just for grains and another one just for beans, so that if you ever have anybody that's in your life or family where they're glucose intolerant, right? Glucose is the wheat, right? Or they have allergies to it. You have, here you go again, frosting, Betty Crocker. Oh my God. Oh my God, man, oh man. So yeah, I might end up doing that. Boys and girls, Betty Crocker. Wow, what's going on with that? Same year. Oops. Maybe there's a page missing from it. Oh well, that's okay. Greater Vancouver. Okay, we'll put that over there. Okay. Family budget book, fishing map book. All right. Hostess. Okay, we'll put those down there. Oh, man. As soon as we're done this pile, hopefully the camera will last long enough. Yeah, when I used to drive, I had road maps and all this. This is what this stuff is. Childcraft. I have the whole series. Oh, wow, we gotta get into the big books now. What is this? I can't see. 101 cocktails. A cocktail for every occasion and mood. Yeah, look how big that is. For people who like to drink, I'd say that's a valuable book. Story and games. And then I have these big ass beautiful, what do you call those things? Atlases. I love them. Your favorite Seuss. Guess what's in here? One guess. Your favorite Seuss. What do we got? I don't know. Let's see if I was thinking the right thing in terms of Dr. Seuss. Only one Seuss that I know of. How about you? Okay. When was this copyrighted? This house is so goody, man. You don't even know. Oh, this camera's gonna kick out any minute. Contents. Oh my God. I don't know. Gotta be in here somewhere. Maybe in the back, eh, you think? I don't know. Oh, God. The print is so small I can't see shit. Let's leave it there. Alright. Hold on. It's dust of it coming into grit. You don't even know. This house is so gritty. Okay, here's an idea. Because I'm short on space too, you know. I don't really want to take this stuff down, honestly. It's nicely put together. I wouldn't mind growing more plants, but at the same time, behind there are a whole bunch of science books and whatever. Behind here is actually school stuff. Little magnetic kits and just whatever's in there. Behind here is my war room, what, one? Beside the one in my bedroom. The one in my bedroom was really the first one because I fought for Sierra and Andre, right? But, and then in here I've really fought for Uncle John. Anyway, there's a computer behind there. And more books. And a lot of those books are like different languages or computer books, which Andre actually wants to learn more about the internal parts of the computer, maybe how to build computers. He wants to learn how to reformat a computer because Marcaine is going to reformat his Switch and fix this Windows 11. That's why I'm in here, but while I'm in here, I'm kind of like moving things around. I think that steamer is the one that I just bought because I had it over there, and then I moved it in here out of the way. And when I seen it, I thought, oh, now I got two, but no, I don't think so. I think that's the one I just bought. Anyway, if I took this all down, I don't want to. That's the problem. I could turn this little area into a homeschool center. It would be easy to advertise it on Facebook or whatever and have people come. And then just, you know, it's not walking through the house, right? And, you know, they can look, you see what's going on here. They can go through what, and they say, oh yeah, well, I like this one, you know, maybe, or whatever, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Okay, what's the date today? I think it's the 27th of June of 2025. I'm in this small little bathroom where I have basically kitchen stuff in here, a few buckets of food or whatever, small appliances, whatever. There was one gaping hole up on this top shelf, which, honestly, I don't know. I'm looking for my old school meat grinder. It's in a Rubbermaid little bin, or whatever those bins are called. There's only one other place that I can think of where it might be. Because if I don't find it, oh boy, I'll be choked. But I think I found my hand crank flaker. Yeah, that's why I turned on the camera. Now, mind you, I just bought myself a really good food mill with the other half with a motorized flaker on it for oatmeal, right? But I can't get to that just yet because, you know, I'm doing other things, right? I'm still doing the sweep. And I'm also looking for another Rubbermaid container with all my cheesecloths and those kind of things. I don't know, that bitch, I'll tell you, people. Rhea. Are your ears ringing? Maria? Rhea? Huh? Did you fly to Mexico? Or did you go to freaking California? Or maybe you flew to Jamaica? Huh? For a welfare mother, you sure fly around a lot. Yeah, it's because you go into people's houses and you steal their shit so you don't have to pay for it yourself. Yeah. So, I did find the steamer. So now I have two of them. Because I bought another one, right? Because I thought I had it in there, but I actually moved it into the grow room area. So, I have two of those, I'm pretty sure. So that she didn't take. Okay. And the flaker, for whatever reason, was up there. So whether I put it up there, because at one point I had it in the bathroom, but I got nervous with it there, so I moved it. But that bitch, Rita, she scooped up on something on that top shelf, I think, because big gaping fucking hole. What was there? I don't know. I can't think. I don't recall ever taking anything down, as if I ever got time, because I don't. Right? I just don't. So yeah, there's the handle to it. Oh, I guess you put it onto a cupboard so it doesn't move. I don't know, a little brush to clean it. Now the thing about this is it's nice because if the hydro goes out, you can use it. If you got things in the house that you want to grind up. Well, not grind up, but flake. Alright. As if I can see. Can't see shit. It does different things. You can flake oats, whole groat oats. You can flake wheat. So if you make bread and you want those flat little pieces of wheat on the top of your crust, you know how you get that? It can do that. I think it does something with coffee beans too. It has six different positions. Material, no, okay, I'm looking for English. Nothing's in English. Everything is in a different language. Oh my God, so many different languages. Oh God, I don't even know if I'll be able to find English in this. Nothing looks like English. Oh my God. This is terrible. Weird spellings. Yeah. So, I don't know if I'll be able to read this. They even have it in Chinese. Oh my Lord. What about the first page? Oh my Lord. I don't see English. Oof. That's no good. Okay, so anyway. See? I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Oh yeah. You put what you want in there to flake. Doesn't look like it could do coffee beans. It seems kind of small. Yeah. I don't see any more directions in here. I'm gonna have to look at that. Well, that makes me feel better because this thing was almost 400 bucks. It's very well made. Yeah. Had to order it from the States. It's quite heavy, really. So, we'll see. I'm going to turn this off and see if I can find English on this. Hold on. Okay, so I did find English. It was in the beginning. From what I can tell and read so far, right? But what you can do in this is you can even make a little bit of a flower, but you'd have to go a couple times over, right? But these are the things that it can do. Oat, obviously I bought it for oat, but now that, you know, oat, whole groat oats, but now that I've got this other one, that's my main every day or every second day. Run it through the mill, electric, it will be nice, right? And then the other side, flour, because, yeah, you grind as you need for the day kind of thing, right? You grind up your wheat kernels for the flour, for the whatever you're going to make that day, whether it's macaroni with egg, which I plan on doing for Amari. You can grind it up for, you know, cakes, muffins, pie, dough, pizza dough, bread, whatever, tea biscuits, pastry, blah, 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 right? And at some point, I'm going to be making a protein out of course, and which is like Comet, of course, and it's a farro wheat that you can put into smoothies and stuff like that. I'm going to try and give to Mark, but besides that point. Okay, so these are the things. Oats that you can flake with this or make flour. You just have to, if you're going to make the flour, you have to do it a couple times over. Alright, so the oats, I'm not going to use it for oats because we've got the main mill now, right? Spelt, which is like a wheat, right? Easy to digest. I have that. Malted barley. I'm not exactly sure what M-A-L-T-E-D, so malted, I suppose, barley, I don't know what that means, but, and then malted spelt, I'm not sure, I have to look that up. Okay, buckwheat, durum wheat, I have buckwheat, I have durum wheat, I have soft wheat, kemet is a farro wheat, I have that, millet, I have, quinoa, I have. So I would use this to make the flour with the quinoa and the millet if I want, and dried peas. So you can do dried peas in this to make whole meal flour, right? So in a situation like that, if I haven't sprouted them, you know, you can mix whole wheat with the pea flour with egg and make noodles out of that, right? I don't see why not. And grape seeds. I have grape seeds. I have a big bag of it, really, and they're very nutritional. They're old. I've had them around for a long time, but they'll still be fine. So there you go. So we'll keep this handy. Now I'm on the hunt for my old school, what is that called? Meat grinder. No, can't find it. Not yet. So I'll stay optimistic. Hopefully she didn't find that. You know she was finding something. Oh, and look what I found. Where is it? Oh, I wish I had a better kitchen. You don't know. I still want to bring it out. Oh, here it is. Where's the camera? There it is. Look at that. I have a cow's one, but this is kind of nice. If I get up. Look how nice and clean it is inside. But I don't have a lot of counter space and stove, and so I don't know. I want to use it. We'll see.